What's going on, folks? Welcome to the channel. I'm Andy, the Electric Geek, and I have episode 2 of the 4K forecast for your viewing pleasure today. In the 4K forecast, what I do is I have a look at all the upcoming 4K Blu-ray releases that are coming to the UK, so that you can kind of plan what you're going to buy that month. Well, if there's any pre-orders for specific steelbooks, collector's editions, then you've got that heads up. You can get in there early and make sure you've got them ordered so you don't miss out. As I say, this is episode 2 of the 4K forecast. The first one was quite successful given that my channel is quite small, and in the first one what I did was I covered from January all the way through to March. Now the problem with that was that obviously things got announced after the video was released, and I kept getting comments saying, oh, you've missed this, you've missed that, which I hadn't missed anything, it's just that it hadn't been released at the time. So I thought, let's just do this March reloaded and catch all those ones that I missed the first time around. Thereafter I'll be doing these videos monthly. I might do 2 months at a time, but certainly won't be 3 months because that was too much work and there's too much time for other things to get announced, and I don't want to misdirect people or miss things out. So that's the plan going forward. I will leave a link in the description and maybe a card at the top for the original 4K forecast if you want to go back and have a look at the other things that are coming out in March. Or if you're just not up to date what's been released this year, you can obviously go through January and February as well. But as I say, there'll be a link in the description for that at the end. So let's not waste any more of your precious time and let's get fired into the March releases. So on the 7th of March we have 2 releases coming out in 4K Blu-ray. The first is that of Steven Spielberg's A West Side Story. Now this isn't something that I've caught at the cinema. I like Steven Spielberg, but admittedly his more recent projects, to be honest, haven't really appealed to me that much. I know this is a remake of a famous movie from the 50s. It's a bit of a passion project for Steven Spielberg, but I've not seen it yet, and it's probably not one that I'll pick up in 4K anyway. But I appreciate there'll be fans out there that do want to pick it up, so if you want to pick it up you can get it for $24.99, and it's also available as a Zavvi exclusive 4K steelbook which you can pick up for $32.99. Tech spec wise, it's coming as a 4K native transfer, and it's also coming with Dolby Atmos, which should be awesome given that it's a musical, so it's good that they've went that extra mile and put the 3D object-based audio on the disc. So if you're into the West Side Story, or if you're a Steven Spielberg collector, you can pick that up on the 7th. Secondly, nothing kind of new here, but I thought I'd mention it. I didn't mention it on the previous video, but Zavvi are doing a re-release, if you like, of the MCU films up until Endgame, I believe, as Mondo exclusive steelbooks. Now they're really cool. I've thought about dabbling myself, but I have a lot of them in Blu-ray and they're on Disney Plus and whatnot, so it just seemed too much. And knowing my collective nature, if I buy one then I'll just be tempted to get them all, so I'm trying to save myself cash. But I'm tempted with the Winter Soldier one because that's pretty cool that it came out on the 28th. Today. But yeah, on the 7th of March though you can pick up the Mondo Steelbook edition of Avengers Infinity War. Nothing different from the previous release, just the steelbook itself. Avengers Infinity War is a 2K DI just upscaled to 4K, so it's not native 4K, but you do get the lossless Dolby Atmos track on it, which will be better than anything that's on Disney Plus. So maybe still worth picking up in that regard. However, on Disney Plus you're also getting the IMAX enhanced picture quality with the extended aspect ratios, which you won't get on the 4K Blu-ray. But I thought it was worth mentioning because I know there's some big fans of the MCU out there who might be interested in picking up these steelbooks. Then on to the 14th of March and we have 2007's Shooter starring Mark Wahlberg coming to the 4K format for the first time. Now you can get this as just the 4K standard slip and it's $19.99, or you can shell out and get the 4K steelbook edition, which is an extra tenner at $29.99. I have seen Shooter, I enjoyed it. It's not a film that I'm desperate to see on 4K. I don't currently own it in any format. I'm not in a rush to buy it, but I appreciate there's probably fans of it out there who want to see it in 4K. I think the design of the steelbook's a bit lazy. It's basically just the same as the standard slip, just in the steelbook format, so that doesn't particularly excite me. But again, maybe there's people out there that would want to pick up the steelbook, so if you want that, you can get that on the 14th. Shooter comes as a 4K native DI, however, on the audio side of things, it just has DTS HD master audio. I think it's a 5.1 track, so there's been no upgrade there to Atmos or DTS-X. Another release we're getting on the 14th is the Zavvi exclusive Mondo steelbook of Avengers Endgame. Exact same situation here as it was for Infinity War with regards to tech specs, so I won't go over it again, and it's the same pricing. It's $29.99 if you want the Mondo steelbook. Then this takes us on to the 21st of March when we have a really big fish 4K release coming out, which is, to be honest, the reason I wanted to do this video, because I just wanted to kind of speak at length about this particular release. But of course it is the Godfather trilogy coming for the first time to the 4K format. Now this is coming as a kind of standard vanilla, if you like, box set, and it's also coming as a collector's edition, but I'll just speak briefly about the collector's edition first. As you can see in the packaging here, you can get it for £74.99, and it includes all 3 Godfather films that have been newly remastered. They've got 4K DIs. The audio, I believe, is still just the Dolby True HD track that was probably on previous releases, but to be fair, the Godfather films are very dialogue driven, so I don't really think they're going to benefit largely from Atmos or DTSX, so that's not really an issue for me. Now, aside from the obvious benefits of the picture quality upgrade we're getting with the new remasters, one of the most exciting things about this release is the fact that we're getting all 3 versions of The Godfather Part 3 for the first time on home video. So by that I mean we get the original theatrical cut, the most commonly known 1991 Francis Ford Coppola cut, and the brand new The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone, glad I got that right, version. So you've got all 3 to choose from. Now, my understanding is that it's the latter version that's in 4K, and it's had the restoration done. However, there is a separate disc. I'm not sure if that's 4K or Blu-ray, but there's a separate disc which has those aforementioned cuts, the theatrical one and the 1991 cut from Francis Ford Coppola. I absolutely love the Godfather films. I used to have them previously on kind of special edition DVD, and I got rid of them years ago when I kind of got rid of all my physical media, and now I'm kind of starting again. So this is definitely something that I'll probably pick up. The Godfather 50th Anniversary Collector's Edition box set comes with 3 illustrated portrait cards, and it also comes with a hardback book, which has got all your usual, I'd imagine. It's got photos from behind the scenes, and I think it also has an introduction from Francis Ford Coppola himself, and you also get a nice foil embossed box to put it in. Now, I have to say, I think the packaging on the collector's edition is more in keeping with the whole Godfather thing. It's quite serious, understated. I like that packaging. Not that I don't like the £74.99 one, however, I just think the Ultimate Collector's Edition box set is nicer. But do I want to shell out 120 quid for these 3 films? Now, I do love them, but I don't know if I love them enough to shell that out. We'll see. Maybe if it came down in price, I would. But I won't be buying them straight off the bat anyway. I'll wait and see what happens. See if they come down in price a bit. But it's definitely something that I would like to have. I've not seen that new that new re-editing of The Godfather Part 3, so I'm really interested to watch that, because that's the film that I've seen the least of anyway. So yeah, The Godfather trilogy, the 50th anniversary, that is the big fish, and I'm sure there'll be loads of people out there, some of the people watching this video, that are really excited for that one. Special features wise, it's come with a raft of new material as well. I'll put it up on the screen just now if you have a wee look, but yeah, there's plenty of stuff there. I think all the old stuff that was on previous Blu-ray releases is ported over, as well as some new stuff which you can obviously have a wee read at just now on the screen. So it's definitely a set that you want if you're a collector, or certainly if you're a fan of The Godfather, but I think if you're any kind of physical media collector, you want this 4K set. So from talking about classic films such as The Godfather trilogy to The Matrix Resurrections, this doesn't seem right, but that's the way it's written down in my notepad, because the same day that Godfather comes out, we're also getting The Matrix Resurrections on 4K. Now, you can get this as a standard slip, £24.99. I think that works quite nice. Or you can get the Zavvi exclusive 4K steelbook for £29.99. I've not seen this film yet, but I'm not really that excited for it. I didn't think it needed to happen. I was surprised when it got announced, and the reports have been pretty poor. I think it's been widely reported as being pretty shit by fans and critics alike, but I will watch it, but I don't think I'll be picking it up in 4K, certainly not be rushing out to buy it anyway. But should you want it, it's coming with a native 4K DI, and it also has Dolby Atmos, so I'm sure it will look and sound fantastic. There's no Dolby Vision here, it's just standard HDR10, but if you want The Matrix Resurrections in 4K, then you can get it on the 21st of March. Also out that month is the one disc 4K edition of Escape from LA, John Carpenter's Escape from LA, starring Kurt Russell. I've only seen this film once, and I quite enjoyed it. I'm actually quite intrigued to check it again. I think I'll probably pick this up. Although we're getting this one disc edition for $19.99 with just the 4K disc, there is already available a collector's edition for $34.99, which has the Blu-ray also. Now, for your $34.99, the only thing you're getting extra is, of course, that Blu-ray, which will have some special features on it. You're getting 5 art cards, 2 stickers, and a double-sided poster. Now, do the quick math, 15 quid for those little trinkets that I've just mentioned. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think it is. It's a bit shit that you don't get the Blu-ray. I like to get the Blu-ray. That'd be the only thing that would put me off getting the cheaper version. But I think, if you want my advice, what I'd probably do, I don't think that the collector's edition will sell all that well. I might be wrong, but I think that'll probably come down in price. I think you could probably hold off on this one. You could probably get the collector's edition further down the line for a bit closer to that $19.99. But it's a good option. I'll be getting one of them, I don't know which, but I'll definitely pick one up because I have Escape from LA, the Studio Canal release, so I'd like to kind of finish the collection if you like. So if you want it, you can get it, as I say, on the 21st of March. And lastly, on to the 28th of March, and we have a few titles to discuss here. We have the standard edition of The Green Mile coming to 4K for the first time. Now, I did cover this in the previous video, which, as I say, I'll leave a link for, but the Steelbook was exclusive to Zavvi, and there was another collector's edition which was available from the studio website, I believe. So you can check that out, and I went into a bit more detail in that video. But yeah, great movie. I know there's a lot of people excited to pick this up. As I said in the previous video, I don't love the film enough to spend money on a special collector's edition Steelbook or whatever, so I am glad that they're also releasing it in a kind of standard version, because that's likely the one that I'll pick up. So for $19.99 to get the Green Mile in 4K, I think that's a decent price, so that's definitely one that I'll be picking up in future. Then on to BFI's release of 2005's The Proposition, a kind of modern classic western from John Hillcoat. Now, I also covered this in the previous video, and I said at that point that it was being released on the 21st of February because that was its initial release date, but it's been delayed and it's been put back to the 28th of March. So as I say, I covered it at the time in that video. It's getting a Dolby Vision encoding for the HDR, it's a 4K native scan again, and the audio is DTS HD master audio. It's come with a raft of special features as well. I think it's definitely one that's worth checking out. I've not actually seen The Proposition, but I've been told by loads of mates and stuff that I need to watch it. So I might check this out, try and check it out before the end of the month to see if I like the film or not, and then I might just take the plunge and buy this because it does seem like a really, really good version of it. So yeah, unlike I previously reported, this 4K release is coming to the UK on the 28th of March now, not the 21st of February. And then the last title that I need to cover today is a Second Sight Films release. Just about get that out there, Second Sight Films. Second Sight Films release of 2014's The Babadook. Now, I'm a bit of a shite bag when it comes to horror, so there's not much horror I've seen. Certainly not seen The Babadook, but I've heard it's very good. Sounds though, looking at this tech specs, that it's a bit of an upgrade to 4K in name only. They've not rescanned it, it's just the original HD, 2K, 1080p, whatever you want to call it, mastering upscaled to 4K for the disc. We don't get any fancy HDR in the form of Dolby Vision or HDR10+. We're just getting standard HDR10, and the audio is just the original DTS HD track that was probably on the previously released Blu-ray. So if you're a big fan of the film, you might want to check this out, or if you haven't picked it up previously and you are a fan of it, then yeah, get the 4K. I'll not be getting it. I might watch it at some point because I heard it's good whenever I grow a set of balls, but I'll not be getting the 4K. But if you're into The Babadook, you can get it on 4K at the end of March. So I hope you enjoyed the 4K Forecast episode 2, March Reloaded. Let me know in the comments what stuff you're hoping I'm picking up, what you're most excited for, and if you've got any pre-orders already, I'll be really keen to know. I like having a chat with you in the comments about it. As far as I'm concerned, my top 3 would be obviously The Godfather. I think that's an absolute must-have, just not sure what edition to get. Then probably Escape from LA, similar boat, not sure what edition to get. And then third, I would probably say The Green Mile. And as I say, I will pick up that 1999 standard version of The Green Mile. That's my top 3 picks for March. As I say, let me know what yours are in the comments. So if you've enjoyed the video today, folks, and you think I deserve it, please give it a wee like. It really helps the channel and I really appreciate it. I'll be doing these 4K Forecast videos every month so I can keep you guys up to date with what's coming to the UK as far as 4K Blu-ray is concerned. So if you don't want to miss out and you want to keep up to date, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to know what else has been released in 4K this year from January right up until March, then please check out the first 4K Forecast video that I did here. You can just click this link, go on, you want to. Or if you just want to see more of my channel, my 4K Blu-ray reviews, what I pick up, some of my home cinema stuff, then click this playlist here. Alright, thanks for watching. I've been Andy, the Electric Geek. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.